States Air Force, NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab, Lockheed Martin, Maxar Technologies, SAIC, Israel Aerospace Industries North America, and with support from the Aerospace Corporation. Welcome to Demo Day. For those of you who are new to Techstars, we are the global platform for investment and innovation. We've run over 200 accelerator programs, have invested in over 2,000 companies with a combined market capitalization of over $25 billion. Thank you so much for taking time to join us as we celebrate the 10 exceptional startups chosen from the hundreds who applied to our program. Normally, we'd all be together in Los Angeles at an inspiring venue like the California Science Center, where we held last year's event. But unfortunately, times are unusual. And we must do now what all entrepreneurs do all the time. We adapt. And to be honest, adapting has largely worked in our favor. Despite this program being 100% virtual, with founders spread from Singapore to Poland to Los Angeles and in between, being virtual has allowed our program to engage mentors, our partners, customers, and venture capitalists from around the world without location, logistics, or travel slowing us down. And thanks to this incredible community of over 200 mentors who've really rallied around these 10 companies, our founders have achieved in just 13 weeks what it would take most companies years to do on their own. And now, before we get into this year's class, I want to take a moment and recognize some of the incredible accomplishments of our class of 2019. In the less than year since they've graduated our program, these 10 companies have raised over $27 million of combined grant and venture capital funding. They've closed major contracts with the Department of Defense, NASA, ESA, and other government agencies. They've closed commercial partnerships with Fortune 500 corporations, and they've raised funding from some of the most notable and well-regarded venture capital firms in the world. And now, we invite you to join Techstars, our partners, and our mentors. And as we say, give first. Try and find at least one thing you can do to help at least one company you're about to hear from. Maybe it's an introduction to a potential customer, or a potential investor, or a potential hire. Maybe you just have a crazy idea for them that they need to hear about. Imagine if all of you watching today and on this recording in the future did just one thing for at least one company, what we could all achieve as a community in a short amount of time. All of our founders' information is in the description below, as well as at demoday.techstars.com, where you'll be able to find recordings of the entrepreneurs' pitches after today. And if you're watching live with us on YouTube, all of our founders are in the chat right now, ready to answer your questions and engage one-on-one. In the great words of Jean-Luc Picard, engage. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce you to the class of 2020.
Hi, I'm Andrew Antonio, co-founder and CEO of Urban Sky, where we are commercializing the stratosphere, one of the last underutilized layers of Earth's atmosphere, and we are revolutionizing access to remote sensing data in the process. The stratosphere sits in the area between low Earth orbit and commercial airspace, but it's been largely ignored despite offering the high vantage point of space at a cost drastically less than accessing orbit. That creates a massive opportunity to conduct broad area remote sensing in higher resolution than satellites, but at a much lower cost. But there's a problem. It's very difficult to routinely and predictably operate vehicles in the stratosphere. Most commonly, the stratosphere is the domain of small weather balloons, but you can't use these for remote sensing because they're uncontrollable and they pop as soon as they reach a high altitude. At Urban Sky, we are building placeable, predictable flight path balloon systems, and we call these new stratospheric balloon systems microballoons. They leverage advances in component miniaturization and first-of-its-kind balloon reusability to unlock high-resolution, highly refreshed remote sensing data over targeted areas. And we have the right team to make this a reality. I led commercial sales and marketing at Worldview, a pioneer in stratospheric flight technology from pre-seed all the way to Series C prior to founding Urban Sky. And my co-founder and CTO, Jared Leidick, has been awarded 5 patents for stratospheric balloon technologies, and he led spacesuit design and operations for the highest human balloon flight and skydive of all time. Now, we'll soon be capturing 3 times better resolution imagery than satellites. And compared to aircraft, we can capture comparable image resolution, but 4 to 10 times more frequently at a mere fraction of the cost. We're combining the best of both of these platforms, giving us high resolution, fresh, low cost data, a long sought after trifecta in our industry. And in less than 1 year, we've already designed, built, and flown the first ever reusable high-altitude balloons and collected sample aerial imagery from the stratosphere, pictured here. We're also excited to make a few really big announcements today, including that we oversubscribed our pre-seed rounds with investments from NewStack, 10110, Catapult, and Techstars. We also just won a $250,000 cash grant from the state of Colorado as a top startup in our state, and we won a Phase 1 SBIR contract from NASA JPL to further develop our vehicle for wildfire monitoring applications. In addition, we're excited to announce that Maxar Technologies, the company that set the standard for high-resolution commercial imagery, has stated interest in partnering with us as an imaging subcontractor over densely populated urban areas and as a channel partner to help us expand our presence in insurance, oil and gas, and agricultural markets. Lastly, we're excited to announce our very first commercial customer and partner today, Arturo, with whom we'll be conducting a 1-year imaging pilot program over Colorado. Arturo is developing breakthrough predictive insights for the insurance industry using higher resolution, fresh data over urban areas. And they believe that our data can be a real game changer for their customers. With a new wealth of data generated from the stratosphere, Urban Sky will fundamentally change the collective human understanding of the surface of our planet and urban centers. Thank you.
And now meet Shane McMahon, CEO of Lux Semiconductors.
Electronics have come a long way in the past 50 years. Mainframe computers used to take up entire rooms, but they've since gotten small enough to fit into our homes, then our backpacks, then our pockets, and now on our wrists. This is a direct result of the unrelenting pursuit by the semiconductor industry to miniaturize the most important component in computers, the silicon transistor. To be usable, they must first be mounted to printed circuit boards. But despite the incredible advances in transistors over the past 50 years, the age-old circuit board has barely changed. So now, no matter how small everything else gets, you're still left dealing with the same old rigid and bulky board. When trying to incorporate these boards at the systems level, oftentimes bulky cables or boxy enclosures are required, which adds further weight and size. This has become a massive bottleneck to further innovation. I'm Shane McMahon, co-founder and CEO of Lux Semiconductors, and we've developed a flexible version of the silicon wafer to overcome this problem. With our flexible silicon platform, we can pattern both the transistors found in silicon chips and the circuits found on printed circuit boards, all on a single unified platform. This doesn't just help miniaturize existing boards. In some cases, it can eliminate them altogether. We expect this new approach, called System on Foil, will lead to a new era of electronics, one where devices are seamlessly embedded into everything, from sunglasses to clothing to even our bodies. We started developing this technology while pursuing our PhDs in nanoscale engineering at the SUNY Polytechnic Institute. Since then, we've raised over $2 million from major federal agencies, including the National Science Foundation, the Department of Energy, and the Department of Defense. We've also formed a deep technical collaboration with Oak Ridge National Laboratory. We're active members of the leading flexible electronics industry consortium, NextFlex, and we're working on several cooperative research agreements with strategic defense agencies focused on advanced microelectronics. On the commercialization front, we've received support from 5 of the top aerospace and defense primes, and we're now partnering with 2 of them on joint proposals to embed our electronics into their systems. As the technology scales, our roadmap to high volume manufacturing will open the door to massive commercial markets as well, including mobile, automotive, robotics, smart buildings, and the industrial Internet of Things. This is why at Lux Semiconductors, we're excited to usher in the next era of embedded and ubiquitous electronics to power the next generation of devices. If you're interested in what we're building, please reach out. We'd love to connect. Thank you.
And now a word from our partners at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab.
Hi, I'm Tom Swick from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and it's a pleasure to be here for the beginning of the Techstars Starburst Demo Day. At JPL, I lead the Space Technology Office, where we originate ideas, develop systems, and finally fabricate and validate hardware and software that are part of our future missions. This is our second year interacting with a startup company cohort. Last year, we worked with companies building Earth observation constellations, thrusters for small spacecraft, and long-duration power sources, among others. We are excited to see this year's cohort and the companies working with data analytics, machine learning systems, specialty electronics, specialty materials, and new vehicles for Earth observation and testing. This is cutting-edge development, and we need it for space exploration. We also recognize the entrepreneurial spirit and can-do attitude in these companies. The breadth of ideas and drive is well connected to the folks at JPL. We mix well. You hopefully saw we just launched our Perseverance rover to Mars, as well as its daughter helicopter that will fly and scout ahead of the rover. We see in these startup companies the same spirit that drives our JPL development. At JPL, we have a number of mentors that work with the companies. Last year in person, this year virtual, but still successful. We are excited to continue this connection. Today, I look forward to the presentations from our companies. Thank you.
And now meet Paul Dlugosch, CEO of Natural Intelligence Systems.
Hi, I'm Paul Dlugosch, founder and CEO of Natural Intelligence. Here's a question. What is this? Now, if you answered stop sign, you'd be right, and most AI systems would agree with you. But now what do you see? If you answered a stop sign with some tape on it, you nailed it. But even small changes like this can confuse an AI system, and when AI systems get confused, the results can be devastating. Now, this is just one small part of a much larger problem with AI systems today. These systems are based on complex mathematical frameworks called neural nets that require billions of data points, lots of manual pre-processing by humans, and need massive amounts of computing horsepower to train. And after all of this, they become frozen in time and stuck in the past. At Natural Intelligence, we've developed an entirely new kind of AI system based on how the human brain actually works. We call it pattern-based AI. Now, you remember that stop sign with the tape on it? Traditional neural net systems operating with mathematical equations have trouble resolving this image. However, a human brain can still easily discern the stop sign because of its ability to see patterns. And this is what makes natural intelligence so different. We first convert input data into patterns, and then we flow these patterns into our unique pattern-based system. These new AI capabilities led us to DARPA, where we benchmarked our pattern-based system against a market-leading neural net system. The challenge was to determine the health of hard disk drives and prevent impending failures. Now, both systems achieved about the same initial accuracy, but the natural intelligence system did so using much less data, taking much less time, and using much less energy. And even better, our system was able to learn new concepts after initial training, where the hardened neural nets were confused and left making incorrect decisions. The Natural Intelligence team began our journey more than 10 years ago working in advanced R&D at Micron Technology. In 2016, after being issued more than 200 patents, we founded Natural Intelligence and licensed this technology from Micron. Today, I am thrilled to announce that we have been moved into phase 2 of DARPA's next generation AI program. I'm also pleased to share that several corporations are evaluating our pattern-based AI technology, along with a growing number of researchers from leading academic institutions. We are currently working with AWS to develop a subscription service running our pattern-based AI on their cloud infrastructure. If you'd like to learn more about how natural intelligence can help make AI even more intelligent, please come talk to us.
Please meet Neil Malhotra, CEO of Rotors.
Hi everyone. I'm sure by now you're more than used to joining Zoom meetings from your homes. And for some people, this works perfectly. But for others, they need to connect not only with remote people, but also to remote places. For example, here's an operations manager responsible for the safety of oil fields across the country. When he gets an urgent call about an oil leak, he either jets out to the site, which takes time, or a certified pilot has to fly a drone, record the scene, prepare the results, and send them back, which also takes time. What he really needs is a way to join into a live drone flight directly from his office so that he can be virtually on location to guide operations immediately. He needs Rotors. I'm Neil Malhotra, CEO of Rotors, a software platform for controlling remote drones from your home or office using your computer, tablet, or phone. Here's how it works. Once a drone is on site, you join into a virtual cockpit and press the takeoff button, and the drone launches into flight at the remote location. With our low latency systems, you live control the drone with video game-like responsiveness. Your team rides along and even virtually sits next to you to discuss and resolve the remote site issues together. Each team member has unique permissions, whether piloting, controlling the camera, or just observing. Our target market is the $28 billion inspection market, which includes 300,000 cell towers and 1.1 million oil wells in the US. Our revenue is based on renewable annual subscriptions to our SaaS solution. Because we're the only enterprise solution with distributed team controls for remote robotics, customers are clamoring to work with us. Today, we're excited to announce our first implementation projects and partners. We're working with Dish Networks to help them with remote tower inspections. We're also working with Maxar on real-time high-resolution 3D map applications. And drones are just the beginning. We're also super excited to announce that we're working with Honeywell on remote supervision of their autonomous air taxi fleets, as well as working with IAI to automate the landing process for their next moon mission. Furthermore, our technology has applications in law enforcement, defense, emergency response, air mobility, and beyond for a total addressable market size of $237 billion. As a team, we have implemented deep space trajectories at NASA JPL, small launch vehicles at Orbital, and pioneered mixed reality at Niantic, creator of Pokemon Go. Now we're bringing that experience to solve the difficult challenge of controlling remote devices from anywhere at any time. At Rotors, we're enabling a new way of engaging with the world. Sign up for a live flight demo on our website, vrotors.com today, to experience how our capabilities can enhance communication and collaboration for you and your team. Thank you.
And now, a word from our partners at the United States Air Force.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is JJ Snow, Chief Technology Officer for AFWERX, the Innovation Division of the United States Air Force. I'm really excited to be here today to introduce the latest initiative with one of our best partners, our dearest partners, Techstars. Since 2018, AFWERX and Techstars have had an incredible partnership, teaming up around one-of-a-kind solutions that have led to over $14 million in contracts for prototypes and projects that are not just bringing state-of-the-art to the United States Air Force, but also driving technology for good, as a potential through efforts like Base of the Future to positively benefit all of society. With this in mind, I'm super excited about the Techstars' latest initiative, the Starburst Space Accelerator. Buckle up and get ready to blast off with some eye-opening solutions that promise to be game changers for the future of space and that really reach for the stars and beyond. I'm going to say it. You know I'm going to say it. Engage. Enjoy.
And now meet Steve Massey, CEO of Pruitt Ridge.
Hi, I'm Steve Massey, CEO and co-founder of Pruitt Ridge. Kansas City, Missouri, 1981. Two walkways collapse at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. The lobby below was filled with patrons, killing 114 and injuring over 200 more. The culprit, an unnegotiated design change in the walkway's steel hanger rods. This change was not reviewed and only discussed via telephone without any calculations or even a formal document exchange. Stories like these continue to happen every day. The big ones make the news, but the little ones we just live with. Engineering as a discipline engages the most incredible minds to tackle world-changing problems. But our tool chain is still stuck in the 80s. spaceships and bridges are held together with the duct tape of emails, spreadsheets, and meetings. With Pruitt Ridge, we finally enable truly interconnected engineering efforts with our engineering collaboration platform. Here's how it works. Imagine a project engineer who starts by entering early project drivers into our web interface. A subject matter expert, such as an orbital analyst, then begins her work by using that data directly within their tool of choice, either in Python, MATLAB, or Excel shown here. She'll use the Excel add-in to review any new engineering requirements without ever leaving the program, and the Pruitt Ridge Excel function to add the remote data. A first-order analysis looks good, and the data is pushed back to the project engineer. No email is required. Our project engineer is happy with the results, wants to try something different. He'll check out an earlier branch and run some different numbers. Our Git-like approach to collaborative revision control lets them fully explore the trade space of concepts and ideas. With these new capabilities, no longer will a design change go unnoticed, nor a mistake unresolved. All the experts on your team now have access to the data they need, where they need it, and when they need it, directly from their preferred interfaces. What's more, all the data is centralized and viewable to all engineers that need it, no matter the role. With Pruitt Ridge, you're in control, not the software. Now, our team has worked hard to build the software we wish we had. My co-founder and I met at SpaceX, where we managed missions and were the engineering conduit between SpaceX's unique approach to engineering and our traditional aerospace customers. I later continued a similar effort at Slingshot Aerospace. And our entire software team has a similarly diverse background, including time in digital strategy at McKinsey and edge computing UAV work at Slingshot. We're backed by great investors on this journey as well. Furthermore, I'd like to today make two announcements. First, I'm proud to share that we've won 2 NASA grants to build our technology further. Second, we're revealing to the world our first software deployment at NASA JPL. We've been working alongside the JPL team to understand their needs, approaches, and challenges, and I'm excited to be able to support them. We need tools that work for today's engineers, keeping ambitious projects on schedule with no friction and less risk of error. Pruitt Ridge ensures that your teams can rapidly and safely build the most amazing feats of engineering. Please reach out to learn more. I'd love to know how we can help you. Thank you.
Please meet Natalia Mikolova, CEO of Weave Air.
Hello, my name is Natalia, and I'm a co-founder and CEO of Weave Air. Before COVID crisis changed our world, nobody gave much thought about the importance of ventilation. And yet the health of every single person on this planet depends exactly on this. The scary part is it affects us everywhere, in our transportation system, in our offices, in our homes. Without well-performing ventilation systems, people get sick, processes fail, and productivity slows down. I spent over 10 years as an engineer with PhD in developing new environmental sensor systems and algorithms. 75% of ventilation systems don't function well. And most of the time, we don't even know about this. Weaver is a safety-as-a-service solution that makes our environments cleaner and more sustainable to reduce cost, reduce failures, and prevent liabilities. Building operations are complex and dynamic. It is critical to monitor our environments, including contamination, safety of the personnel, and equipment status. Weaver's solution prevents contamination by diagnosing the sources before they become serious. Currently, operation managers have to hire environmental consultants, a practice that is expensive, time-consuming, and is unable to predict and prevent problems. With Weaver, you can diagnose 20 different factors across space and time in real time and at 95% accuracy. Weaver provides decision support to diagnose serious problems faster and predict incidents before they happen. Multi-sensor devices can be quickly and easily installed in any ventilation system. We extract insights from this high-density data to provide them in alerts, dashboards, and API integrations. And through this, we are able to save operation and maintenance costs, as well as energy, leading to ROI in less than 2 years. Unlike other solutions on the market, we monitor air quality and ventilation directly and in real time, improve accuracy, and provide results in minutes, not in weeks. The market opportunity for this is massive. Over 600 billion across industries and includes manufacturing, defense, transportation, and healthcare. My background is environmental and chemical engineering with expertise in technical sales and advanced computing. My team has experiences working with technology, finance, and government, while our advisors have expertise founding IoT companies, building science, and manufacturing. We have over 18 technology awards across 4 continents, and I'm thrilled to announce paid pilots with transportation operators like HTM, as well as global suppliers of train parts like Knorr-Bremse. We are ready to put this technology to work for you on Earth and in space. So please join us, because every breath counts.
And now, a word from our partners at NASA headquarters.
Hello, my name is Mike Sieblum. I'm the Chief Technologist for the Science Mission Directorate at NASA headquarters in Washington. It's my responsibility to make certain that we're investing in the right technologies at the right time to support future science missions in earth science, planetary science, astrophysics, heliophysics, and biological and physical sciences. We invest over $500 million annually. We recognize that early stage companies are where innovation resides, and that over 500,000 jobs are created annually by new ventures. In the Science Mission Directorate, we want to invest in technologies that could lead to real breakthroughs and capabilities and reduction of cost and risk for our future missions. We want to grow the number of startups and small businesses in our technology portfolio because they are uniquely positioned with the agility to make that happen. Now, over the past year, I've spoken with a number of founders of new startups, and I've heard repeatedly that the government's procurement process can be a real barrier to them. And indeed, the time it takes us to go from solicitation to award can be on the order of 11 months. And for a company with cash flow concerns, that can be unacceptable. So we recently launched what we called an Entrepreneur's Challenge, which was a prize competition, a pitch day event, with the hope of removing some of the barriers that prevent NASA from just getting access to the great ideas that are out there. So within just weeks, we were able to go from soliciting ideas to providing 10 companies with modest cash awards and access to our NASA program managers such that they are now in a position to compete in our larger programs for larger dollar amounts. In this process, we also want to make the NASA program managers aware of the important role of venture capitalists in the process. These firms help drive innovation for our economy. They're comprised of experts who can determine the real potential of a business plan. Working with VCs will be essential in the space economy going forward because NASA alone cannot afford to make all of these investments. I look forward to working with my colleagues at JPL and Techstars and supporting these programs to enable our entrepreneurs. Thanks very much.
Please meet Matt Villarreal, CEO of Infinite Composites Technologies.
Over the past 50 years, the cost of sending cargo into space has been driven down by more than 50% due to the introduction of new launch vehicles built by startup companies with grand visions to explore the universe. Major innovations have been made around engine technologies to increase the amount of cargo that can be lifted into orbit. We've made little progress around reducing the heaviest part of a spacecraft or launch vehicle, the fuel storage tanks. Even on lunar landers and satellites, fuel tanks can make up more than 50% of a vehicle's empty weight. These highly engineered tanks often serve as the primary structure of a vehicle, and there can be more than 100 tanks on board per flight. Even state-of-the-art tanks typically require a metal liner to contain the gas. These liners are a major driver of mass and cost, and their lead times can extend expected mission timelines from months to years. I'm Matt Villarreal, founder and CEO of Infinite Composites Technologies. Along with my co-founder, Michael Tate, our team has spent the past 9 years working to achieve what has been the pressure vessel industry's holy grail. And that's why we introduced the Infinite Composite Pressure Vessel, the world's first linerless composite pressure vessel for high-pressure gas storage. Our Infinite Composite Pressure Vessel technology leverages nanoscale materials and advanced processes to eliminate the need for a separate liner and provide the optimal solution for storing compressed and cryogenic fluids. This enables up to 40% lower mass, up to 50% lower cost, and 80% shorter lead time versus state-of-the-art propellant tanks. We've been awarded 5 patents and have put our technology to the test in extreme conditions to prove their safety even in the harshest environments. Since our founding, we delivered more than $3 million in contracts to customers like NASA, the Air Force, the Army, and private space companies. Already in 2020, we've delivered 11 flight units and have secured contracts to deliver 20 more by year's end. This is a 500% increase from 2019. These projects include the initial hardware for a 300 satellite constellation, tanks for multiple launch vehicles, and electric aircraft. And our technology is a game changer in a broad range of applications: underwater, on the ground, in the air, and beyond. And while space is our beachhead market, the demand for the overall $58 billion global pressure vessel market is booming. And with the emergence of the hydrogen economy, the industry is poised for exponential growth over the next 5 years. I'd love to talk to you about how we can help keep your projects underweight, under budget, and on schedule. Thank you.
And now a word from our partners at Maxar Technologies.
Hello, Demo Day. We made it. Thanks for taking the time to join us today. Those of us at Maxar that have been in the program the past 10 weeks got a ton of value out of the virtual sessions that occurred. Kudos to the Techstars program teams for putting in place a pretty significant logistic pivot late in the spring, moving the whole program to a virtual environment. So tip of the hat to you guys and gals for pulling this off. Going forward, Maxar is going to keep working with some of these founders. I think a lot of trust and transparency and energy was built in the program, certainly an unusual year for all of us. We look forward to meeting face-to-face at some point in the future and maybe around a table without a mask on. Have a good one and enjoy the day.
Please meet Charles Wong, CEO of Bifrost.
Hi, I'm Charles, CEO of Bifrost, synthetic data for AI developers. We live in an incredible time for AI. Our cars are driving us, our robots are cleaning for us, but what powers all this capability? It's hundreds of millions of images painstakingly labeled by thousands of people, literally drawing boxes on pictures. This painful labeling process is a $2 billion industry, where labeling a single dataset can cost a client $500,000 or more. But here's the bigger problem. Before the client labels the data, they have to collect it. And when the data is rare or difficult to capture, like finding a specific kind of ship or aircraft, this process of capturing and labeling data can be enormously expensive, or just plain impossible. That's why we built Bifrost. We replace collection and labeling with one line of code, empowering teams to build AI in hours instead of months. Rather than only relying on data from the real world, we generate diverse 3D worlds from which we capture images with pixel-perfect labels. Users select their scene, their objects, and their sensors, and from that, they can generate an enormous set of diverse training images, all controlled from that single line of code. Now we make money in 2 ways. First, users access our API on a monthly subscription. They can then share, sell, and download custom datasets on our marketplace. Our technology has helped our customers achieve over 95% accuracy in object detection for smart retail, anomaly detection on trains, and we're in talks with Rolls-Royce to enable new capabilities in aerospace. But what we're most excited about is geospatial analytics, a $75 billion industry growing 15% year on year. We're already evaluating our technology with Israel Aerospace Industries, Israel's leading aerospace manufacturer, to detect illegal vessels at sea. We're also working with Orbital Insight, one of the world's leading geospatial analytics companies, for tracking specialized vehicles. Additionally, Maxar Technologies, the world's largest provider of high-resolution satellite imagery, has stated interest in partnering with us to generate synthetic data modeling the next-generation Worldview Legion constellation before it goes up in 2021. And the sky isn't the limit. We're really excited to announce that we're working with NASA JPL to generate synthetic Martian terrain to help their next-generation Mars Science Helicopter mission concept land safely on the harsh landscapes of Mars. Now, I used to work on self-driving cars, while my co-founder Aravind was a computer vision researcher who developed AI algorithms that outperformed Google. We've been partners in crime for 5 years now, and even built a self-driving car together from scratch. We're grateful to be backed by an incredible team of mentors and advisors from leading geospatial and technology companies. We are Bifrost, and we're helping developers build AI in hours instead of months. Come join us. Thank you.
And now please meet Jacek Strzelczyk, CEO of Satim.
Hi, my name is Jacek Strzelczyk. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Satim, where we provide satellite-based insights for decision makers. For the last 15 years, I've been working with an emerging form of satellite-based imagery called synthetic aperture radar, or SAR for short. In fact, I did my PhD specifically in using SAR for remote sensing and have been working closely with the European Space Agency to develop SAR applications for the past several years. And here's why SAR is so powerful. This is an example of a traditional optical satellite-based image of a port in Gibraltar on a sunny day, which is easy to understand. But here's the same port on a cloudy day and in the evening. The last two images are almost worthless. At any given moment, only 25% of Earth's surface is visible with traditional satellites, but still the market for this imagery is over $75 billion. But with SAR, we can look through the night and the clouds. So now we can look everywhere on Earth all the time, unlocking the remaining 75% of the market. But here's the catch. SAR images are extremely difficult to interpret. Currently, analysis of a single image takes over a week and can only be done by a highly skilled interpreter like me. It has always been too costly, too slow, and too complex to use SAR for most customers. But at Satim, we solve that problem. Our software can automatically analyze SAR images and extract clear insights without the need of a SAR expert. And we can do this very quickly and efficiently, shortening the analysis time of a single image from a week to a matter of minutes. The demand for SAR imagery is currently exploding. New SAR constellations from companies like IAI, Capella, and Umbra Labs are now starting to provide incredible amounts of data. And Satim is perfectly positioned to make that imagery valuable. Today, we are pleased to announce that we have successfully completed a proof of concept with IAI, in which we used our software to interpret test case satellite data. We look forward to deepening partnership with them. We're also collaborating with IAI, a leading SAR data provider, on building commercial services using their data and our software. Recently, we have also signed a new contract with the European Space Agency on further development of our SATREC software. And with Maxar, we are currently in the process of having our commercial offer validated and potentially included in Maxar's portfolio. But none of this would be possible without our exceptional team. My co-founder and CTO of Satim, Stanisława, got her PhD in remote sensing and has led 8 technical projects for ESA. And the rest of our 8-person team consists of experienced geospatial analysts and sales executives. With Satim, we now have the tools to make sense of SAR data and see the Earth clearly. Please contact me if you would like to collaborate.
And now a word from our partners at Israel Aerospace Industries.
Hello everyone, I'm Nir Loran from Israel Aerospace Industries, IAI, a global leader in aerospace and defense. On behalf of IAI Groups and IAI North America, I would like to thank our partners and the Techstars team for bringing together such a spectacular group of startups today. You are doing such an amazing job. IAI is a corporation with a long heritage of innovation. Working with startups is important to us. Innovation is an integral part of our DNA and business. We invest a lot in R&D. In 2019 alone, our R&D activity was close to $1 billion. We see collaboration with startups as complementary to our innovation efforts, and we believe that it will help accelerate our development and improve our time to market by combining technologies and by adding new functionality and new products. We are always searching for disruptive and cutting-edge technologies with added value. However, we may not be aware that they even exist. Last year, we started by learning how the selection process works, and we understood what we can gain from this program. I was very lucky to mentor Hybrid from the UK, who were proudly standing here last year in Demo Day to announce their first aerospace contract with IAI. This year, with the coronavirus crisis affecting all of us, it strangely had a positive impact on IAI's participation. This time, we had no long travel issues, no holiday conflicts, and no time difference issues. Everything was expertly conducted remotely by Bonnie, Matt, and the rest of the team. I think during the program, we became better mentors for the startups we worked with. We made progress with many of the companies you are meeting today. We are especially excited to be working with Bifrost, Rotors, Holos, and Satim. To the founders, I want to say that when I first met you in Zoom, I was already impressed by your innovative technologies, your understanding of the business, and your professional teams. The market is huge and ready for disruption, and I'm sure you have what it takes to become successful businesses. On behalf of IAI, congratulations on making it to Demo Day, and we look forward to our continued partnerships. Thank you.
Please meet Dan Borkus, CEO of Holos.
Hi, my name is Dan Borkus. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Holos. Today, the DoD spends $14 billion a year on synthetic training such as virtual reality. VR has become profoundly valued in preparing soldiers for complex piloting or combat scenarios. However, the 100,000 strong U.S. Air Force maintenance crew tasked with the immense responsibility of ensuring the readiness of our air fleet continue to be stuck skimming through manuals, attending lectures, and combing through videos on their computer. So why not extend VR training to this vital part of our military readiness? Well, creating VR training experiences is an extremely slow and expensive process that's usually outsourced to other companies. DoD trainers are forced to prioritize a small number of mission needs, but they need to be able to deploy VR to potentially thousands of different and unique training exercises. At Holos, our virtual reality content management system gives anyone, regardless of technical background, the ability to rapidly create and deploy hands-on training experiences entirely on their own in minutes, not months. Let's dive into Holos and see exactly how that works. Instructional designers are able to put on their VR headset and import their existing content, including 3D models, videos, text, and pictures into Holos and arrange them to create a fully customized, immersive training experience. Once the training experience is satisfactory, they can upload it to their organization so that trainees can later open it and run through the exercise as many times as needed. The best part is that all this is done with just your hands, not controllers, providing fast content creation for the instructors and truly hands-on learning for the students. We provide powerful capabilities like slicing, automatic model processing, and the ability to have multiple users in one experience to improve the learning quality for trainees. Our team's diverse background in video game design from places like Industrial Light and Magic, the MIT Lincoln Lab, and Google allows us to create intuitive mechanics for interacting with the 3D world. After VR training is proven scalable within the DoD, Holos will bring its virtual reality training capabilities to other industries such as the $50 billion civil aviation maintenance industry and eventually the $370 billion workplace training industry. We are currently under a Phase 2 SBIR contract with Edwards Air Force Base in California to bring Holos' tools to their F-35 maintenance and repair training program. In the last 3 months alone, we've raised $770,000 in venture capital and have partnered with the Space Force's 50th Operations Group to secure SBIR contracts for the upcoming 20.3 solicitation. And today, we are happy to announce Holos and Israel Aerospace Industries will together explore the development of a next-generation multi-domain command and control system powered by augmented and virtual reality. Readiness is first and foremost about training, and with Holos, the world can finally, rapidly shift towards widespread VR adoption. Thank you.
And now, a word from our partners at Lockheed Martin.
Innovation is part of everything we do here at Lockheed Martin, and we're excited to have another way to support the future of space and to support our customer mission. In order to serve these missions, we're always seeking to leverage the most cutting-edge technology, whether this is developed internally, through a partnership, or with the support and investment we make with Lockheed Martin Ventures. Just one example of the many successful partnerships is our Pony Express mission. Satellite now in orbit, testing space computing technologies that will help enable future AI, cloud computing, and advanced satellite communication solutions. Pony Express utilizes a small bus built by Tyvak, and Tyvak happens to be a Lockheed Martin Ventures portfolio company. With all this in mind, we're very excited to partner with Techstars through this program. Over the last 2 years, we've had the opportunity to mentor excellent companies, and many productive and collaborative relationships have been formed. Techstars cohort companies are currently exploring opportunities to work with Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, with many groups throughout Lockheed Martin Space, and even with the team over at Sikorsky. Overall, the program provides us with the opportunity to partner with motivated and inspiring teams early in their development. So again, thank you for the opportunity to participate in today's events. We look forward to many fruitful partnerships with all of you listening, and most importantly, congratulations to this year's class.
And now, a word from our partners at SAIC.
SAIC is a Fortune 500 federal systems integrator.
We are passionate about helping our DoD intelligence community and civilian market customers achieve their missions.
To deliver our customer missions, we fuse SAIC technical capabilities with the innovative solutions of our partners.
SAIC believes that the startup community is the tip of the innovation spear.
You are pursuing the boldest ideas.
You're taking risks that inspire us to think about problems differently.
You will change the world.
You are the next generation of SAIC partners.
You're trailblazers.
SAIC wants to help you blaze trails, and we want to be with you when the rest of the world catches up.
Because when we succeed together, our customers win. And when our customers win, the world is a better and safer place.
SAIC is involved in the Techstars Starburst Space Accelerator because it gives us an opportunity to connect with trailblazers.
You have already succeeded in evolving our thinking around emerging commercial space technology.
You have changed the dialogue within SAIC and opened our eyes to the enormous potential that we can realize together.
That alone justifies our involvement. But it's just the beginning.
While the Techstars program is short, SAIC's time horizon is long. We are committed to working with you in the long run and helping your businesses succeed.
Thank you, Techstars, and to each of the 10 amazing 2020 cohort companies. You have inspired us. It's a privilege to be part of your journey.
And that, everyone, is our class. Our team and I would like to take a few moments to thank some of the people who made this program possible. First, we would like to thank our partners and mentors from JPL, NASA, the United States Air Force, Lockheed Martin, SAIC, Maxar Technologies, the Aerospace Corporation, and IAI. Our partner liaisons have worked tirelessly to help our founders achieve the traction you heard about today, including coordinating hundreds of people from their organizations who have spent time working with and supporting our companies this summer. I'd also like to thank our mentors who have given countless hours of their time and advice. Our associates, Jivika, Carl, Keaton, and Sydney, who have not only supported us in running this program, but also in advising our founders on everything from government contracting, business development, finance, design, branding, and more. Our entrepreneur in residence, Sherman Williams, whose new venture fund, the Academy Investor Network, invests in both veterans and startups in the government technology sector. Our incredible program manager, Bonnie Rosen, my co-captain, without whom none of this would have been possible. Our global partners, who provide our teams not only with perks, but also advice, partnership opportunities, and great connections. And last, but most certainly not least, our families, who have supported us all as we've given up every waking hour to, as we say at Techstars, do more faster. If you'd like to learn more about this program or about the founders in the program, please visit us at demoday.techstars.com, where you'll also be able to find the recordings from today. And we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you all so much for coming. Stay healthy, stay safe.